Let's check in with Global Business Cycle Analyst Dr. Kenneth De Zilwa. Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time. Good to see you as always. Now, the fourth tranche of the IMF is here. How is this helping, as this has increased our debt portfolio and it's going to very soon manifest in the Sri Lankan economy? Because simple economics, the ones that I know, says taking more loans is not the way to properly develop the economy of a nation. What are we missing here?
Thank you, Mahieash, for having me on your show. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that assessment in terms of the debt increase is something that is absolutely of great concern to us. If you look at even the IMF's own projections, they project Sri Lanka's debt to GDP as a percentage to continue to be in the ranges of 100 and above. So there is no real respite in terms of the decrease in debt taking place. That is a significant concern because, as you said, taking debt for consumption is not what this country should do. And ironically, the IMF tranche is for budgetary support, which means it's for consumption. So it doesn't bode well for the future of the economy, and I think we have had many discussions on the IMF program and its impact, and I think this is no surprise to us when we see such transactions taking place and the tranche coming through based on fulfilling of the conditions of more pain to the local industries and more pain to the consumers by way of higher taxes and opening up of markets, which will again impact the overall debt, because as the currency depreciates, the depreciation adds on to the debt stock, and therefore we are in this continuous cycle of being trapped with the overall strangulation of the IMF.
Doctor, let's talk about the Trump tariffs. No one is talking about it. Now the government says it's all under control and the situation is positive. But the impact to the nation is going to be resoundingly big, because once it starts to fully kick in, I think we will be in a bigger victim here and in big trouble. In your opinion, how would Trump tariffs impact Sri Lanka?
The Trump tariffs, I believe, have been discussed with the key stakeholders, particularly the apparel sector. I think they have had some discussions, but as you said, there is no real clarity on that discussion as yet. But I think the markets seem to have adjusted, saying that there is some concession that may be on the table. Now we are waiting to see what that will happen. But nevertheless, I think in the long run, these tariffs will have to be factored in, because I know some of the current suppliers have been asked by their global buyers to absorb some of these costs into their overall margins, which is not healthy at all, because the apparel sector, the gross profit margins are fairly thin compared to other competitive countries. And if that happens, I think there will be a serious hemorrhaging of these balance sheets of these particular large exporters who are running on wafer thin operating margins. So that is number one. Number two is also there is a new development in terms of the overall simplified VAT structure, where the IMF has again insisted to renege that structure and to come back to the normalized VAT structure, which is to charge the domestically supplied trims and other accessories to be included into the VAT framework. Now this is of concern, because if that happens, some of the local procurements will be negatively impacted. That is number one. Number two, the cost of finance in this, which is the working capital for these companies, will also increase, because the current 30-day period is being extended to 45 days, and many see that the 45-day repayment or the refund mechanism is not a practical one, going by the history of how these refunds have happened. So all these uncertainties are not really helpful to the apparel industry.
Absolutely. Indeed. Dr. Kenneth De Zilwa, good to talk to you all, as always. Let's leave it at that.